Streaming on TikTok, live on TikTok, and soon to be YouTube as well. Hello, hello. I'm going to give people a couple minutes to join while I continue setting up here. Who's ready for a crossword puzzle today? It's always a good day for a crossword, isn't it? Okay, got TikTok chat ready. I see Sergey has already joined. Welcome. Nice to be with you again. All right, YouTube chat. And that should be the Facebook chat, although the Facebook chat is always a bit of a question mark. We'll see as we go if we need to fix that. But hello everybody, and welcome to the Daily Crossword Live. So this is the show where we solve one of Arkadium's crossword puzzles together. I've got a fresh puzzle loaded here. As always, you can see the and Breed coming in, hopeful as ever, with a Facebook chat to let me know that I can indeed see Facebook chat. So if you're on Facebook, you should participate as well. So as I was saying, you can see the clues up here in this green panel. So if you ever think you know an answer, shout it out into chat. My name's Jack. I'll be guiding us through this puzzle, but it's really the most fun the more collaborative it is. So I'll be trying to collect everybody's answers, and we'll really make this a group solving effort. The last few days, I think we've gotten pretty down. We're getting faster. We're getting people are getting into it. So hope today's no different. And with that, we can just dive in. I mean, one across is cowboy's rope, which 5 letters. I mean, even without being told how many letters, I would only have kind of one guess about what a cowboy's rope is called, and it does happen to be 5 letters. So I feel some promise about that. Hello, David. Welcome. Are you new here? I don't recognize your name from the previous chats. If so, welcome and help us solve this crossword. We got Bonastasio, Sergey, Stefan. You're very new. Well, good. Welcome. We do this every day, solving crossword puzzles together, and it's always fun. So, one across, people are telling me lasso. Yeah, that looks good to me. And let's check what these letters are doing for the downs. So 1 down is an Andes animal, starting with an L. We have 2 down is pointed a gun. 3 down is pebble with an S. Forwarded. And church instruments. Yeah, David, nice. David writes llama for an Andes animal. I like that. Oops, misspelling. Yeah, llama. Very strange word starting with 2 L's. But I think that's right. I think alpaca might have been another option, but clearly that doesn't fit. Llama fits beautifully. So I'm feeling good about llama here. What does that get us? Liquid measure, starting with an L. Patricia Lambert, welcome. How are you at crossword puzzles? We need all the help we can get. Liquid measure, starting with an L, and amid, starting with an A. Esme, welcome back. Church instruments are organs. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, we're really closing the walls in on this section. We're coming at it from all angles. Getting the L and the R might help with liquid measure. And amid. A little strange, ending with this G. And what do we have here? Of the mind. It's always confusing when a definition starts with of. Breed, 14 across, writes liter for liquid measure. I like that. That definitely looks right. Yep, you measure liquids in liters, or at least some of us do. David Orr writes among for amid. That also looks good to me. Man, we're flying through this first section. Usually it's a slower start, so I'm pleased to see this. Everyone came ready to play today. Pointed a gun. Yeah, and already to aim is to point a gun, but I'm always clamoring on about how the tense of the clue matches the tense of the answer. So since this is the past tense in the clue, pointed a gun, it's going to be a past tense in the answer as well. So that's aimed. And Esme got stone for pebble. Let's check this cross. We didn't even need this clue. A citrus beverage is an aid. I think that was in yesterday's puzzle as well. And now we have forwarded with almost all the letters in place. And of the mind with many of the letters in place. Who's got of the mind? Let me just... Miriam Ramos. We're going to have to use our minds to survive this puzzle, and might as well, yeah. And Sergey's got mental, and just like that, we're done with the first section. I always breathe my sigh of relief when the first section is done, because it gives me hope that the rest of the puzzle will be solvable. And not only was that solvable, I feel like we crushed that first section. Was that the fastest we've ever done? I feel like people came hungry. Without pausing. Interesting. And what's this? Trims off. What do we think? And then S is area. Oh, area is such a vague clue. I feel like area could be so many things. And with only the S, it's not obvious to me, at least. Sergey writes non-stop without pausing. Yeah, that looks good to me. And Sergey is on a non-stop roll today. Stefan as well. David writes space. Yeah, that's very plausible for area. I like that. It fits. The crosses on first sight look reasonable. Yeah, let's stick with it. Nice job. Yeah, and then that looks like it'll give us lops off. So to lop something off is like to cut it, to trim it. So space is looking better and better by the moment. California Valley. I know we have a pretty international chat, so I never expect people to know specific U.S. geography, but must be some Californians tuning in. Watering place, Napa, Luncharoni. Where are you from, Luncharoni? Have you been to Napa? Napa Valley is where they make wine. Watering place. Interesting. Oh, Brooklyn, okay. A near neighbor of mine. Watering place. 41 across Mont Blanc, for example. Anyone know what Mont Blanc is? And excuse my terrible accent. 26 down is oyster's kin. What is an oyster's kin? What's similar to an oyster? I feel like this should be obvious, but somehow it's not. Stefan writes spa for watering place. Yeah, which must be right, because it fits. I don't know any other. I mean, there weren't many options for this letter, but I'm not sure I quite get it. Watering place. Like, I think of a spa as you go, you get a massage, you get a peel or something, but why is it watering place? Maybe someone can help me out. What are they watering? Stefan also knows Alp. Very good. Yeah, Mont Blanc is one of the Alps. Yeah, Bonastasio knew that as well. Ah, Esme scallop. Yeah, I wasn't seeing that. Scallop is an oyster's kin. Very nice. Guys, we're flying today. Feels good, doesn't it? Okay, where do we go? Up here or down here? We have options galore. Let's try this. Elaborate, ending with a TE. And what do we got here? A slogan, ending in an O. It's kind of curious. And then army insect, 6 down. Hopefully this isn't a repeat of a couple of days ago when our grid was just crawling with insects. We had like 6 different insects in the grid and made me feel squirmy. Sergey writes motto for slogan. Yeah, that looks good. Very nice. Potent particle, huh? Okay. Infamous fiddler. Anyone know their history? Yeah, David writes that an army insect is an ant. That sounds good. Very nice. Ants are part of armies. And does that A help with potent particle? I think it probably does. And who knows their history? Raul, David, Gutierrez, Danny, I see you all. Nice. David writes atom for potent particle. I don't exactly know why it's potent. I know atoms are particles. Maybe they're thinking of atomic weapons or something have a lot of power behind them when you split an atom. Is that the idea? Why is it potent? Either way, the alliteration on the clue is fun. Blank bag. Origin. So Gentle Ninja's telling me Belgian village of Spa is a watering place. Okay. So does Spa is Spa named after a Belgian village? It sounds like it. Yes, Munad Issa can get a shout out, although I'm probably mispronouncing your name. Munad Issa. Welcome. Shout out to you. All right, we got elaborate. We have this O now, which might help. David, are you a big crossword person? Or are you just dipping your toe in? Blank bag. I want to say tote bag, but obviously that doesn't fit. And what's this long one? Tease. Not certain. Someone knows the infamous fiddler. And what do we have here? Books of maps. We don't use these as much anymore. David says, I like the words of the cross. I do as well. Okay. Second section seems not as smooth as the first one. We got some blanks behind, so maybe we venture into new territory. Let's see what this P is. Oh, like Swiss mountains. Okay, it's kind of a repeat of 41. David knew atlases for books of maps. Yeah, nice. That definitely looks good. When was the last time any of you looked at an atlas? I can tell you it's been a while for me. But yeah, like Swiss mountains, this is it's kind of borrowing some inspiration from 41 across here. Except it's a different form. This was a noun, Mont Blanc, and this one's going to be an adjective because it starts with like. It's describing Swiss mountains. 10 down is Fitzgerald of jazz. We got an A in place. Clara, help us solve this crossword puzzle. The clues are always up here, and you guys are solving. I am just a mere vessel for your inspiration. Hawaiian necklaces. Lounge around. And supplements. Alright, we got a lot to work on here. Elaborate. Or elaborate, I just realized. Wow, I've been saying this wrong the entire time. I keep saying elaborate and not knowing what the answer is, but elaborate makes more sense. Let's see. Oh, John Kalungo, welcome. John says lays, which I'm assuming you mean for Hawaiian necklaces. Very nice. Yep. That looks good to me. Yeah, and David coming to clean up my mess, saying that elaborate is ornate. I kept saying elaborate, which is, to explain further, but it was actually elaborate, which is ornate, like very detailed. Nice. Yeah, normally with crossword clues, you're not reading them out loud, so you don't trick yourself in that way as much. Alright, let's see. We got Sergey saying Ella Fitzgerald of jazz, very nice. And, yeah, Breed coming in with Nero for 15 across, very nice, yeah. Nero is the infamous fiddler. What kind of bag are we talking about here? Not a tote bag. And this is going to reveal, tease. Tease. And what do we have here? We also got this EL going on. Oh, French female. We didn't even see this clue. Who speaks French? And a faucet problem. Okay. It's making sense. And we still have this one, which is nice. David says tease as tantalize. Yeah, that looks good to me. And checking this was teabag, which makes plenty of sense. I couldn't see this for some reason. I was thinking TEE, like a bag that a golfer carries their tees in, but obviously that was off the mark. Teabag makes a lot of sense. People are writing leak for a faucet problem. That's very nice. What's this? What is this? And lounge around, and then a French female. Luncharoni writes this for French female. I'm not going to pronounce it because my French accent is terrible, but let's check the cross. The crosses. Lounge around is laze. Yeah, if you laze around, that makes a lot of sense. And then supplements and eeks. Oof. I'm not sure I can make sense of this one. To eke out is like to squeeze every little bit you can out of something. But I'm not sure how that fits the clue. Maybe someone else has some idea. Someone already taught me that Spa is named after a Belgian village. I love when crosswords teach you things. When chat teaches you things. Okay, spouse's kin, and it's hyphenated. Huh. I don't think we've seen a hyphenated clue yet. So they're going to drop the hyphen. We're not going to actually put a dash in the grid here. Yeah, the software doesn't even allow me to put a dash, so that confirms it. But a spouse's kin. What do we have here? Loop of rope. It's always a little daunting when you have these sections that are locked off from the rest of the grid. Like, we only have one entry into this section at 19 down, and other than that, we are getting no more information. It's the clues. The clues either help us or we're out of luck. Cole writes Alpine for like Swiss mountains. Yeah, that's good. Alp's getting 2 shoutouts today in today's puzzle. 28 across, spouse's kin. Yeah, I think someone wrote it. Yeah, Sergey wrote in-law. So I guess in-law is normally hyphenated, but we dropped the hyphen. No punctuation in crossword puzzles. Loop of rope. So we open the puzzle with lasso. But what's a loop of rope? Not sure. Artist's prop. 5 letters starting with an E. We have an arc builder. Be defeated. Voyaging. I think we had a very similar answer and clue in yesterday's puzzle. And fuse metal. Okay. Fuse metal. Alright, people probably know some of these. Loop of rope is noose. Yeah, I guess that must be it. I wasn't seeing that. David spotted that. And then we have arc builder. So these extra letters are going to be helpful. Yeah, Breed writes weld for fuse metal. Yeah, that's exactly right. At least it looks right to me. A lettuce unit. So it's not leaf, so what is the unit that lettuce comes in? And an artist's prop. We have an arc builder, N-O. I can only name one arc builder. Yeah, Cole D got it. Nice. Noah. Noah's Ark from the Bible. If you asked me to name a second arc builder, I could not. Nice job, Cole. This EA probably helps with an artist's prop. And this clue is a little tough. It's not prop like a stage prop where, you know, any old item can kind of be called a prop. This is literally about propping something up. Oops. I accidentally zoomed. Let's get back. Okay, that should hopefully look correct again. Yeah, lettuce unit. David writes a head of lettuce. Yeah. Of all the ways to clue the word head, not referring to the body part, we talk about lettuce. Interesting choice. And Luncharoni get an easel for an artist's prop. And just like that, we survive another section. Be defeated is to lose, and voyaging is a sea, like on the sea. Very nice. Very good. We have survived. A lot of people in chat today. Mope, starting with a P. David writes, what about Evan from Evan Almighty? What do you mean? Oh, did Evan from Evan Almighty build an ark? I don't think I ever saw that. That's the sequel to Bruce Almighty. But I know that movie's about God and very biblical. So did he build an ark? That's pretty funny. part of LA, starting with an L. More California in today's grid. We got a path. And mope. Yeah, Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Sergey writes. Recipe instruction. Yeah, so apparently Evan from Evan Almighty was an ark builder. Maybe I should watch that after this. Recipe instruction. Chat is teaching me so much today. Path. And does the O on Los help with mope? Maybe. We got a PO. We got a PO and a recipe instruction starting with an S. And what's this P? Have we looked at that? Modified. Ugh. That's going to be tough to see, at least for me. Because it's a pretty vague clue, and we only have this P in place. Cole writes stir with a question mark for recipe instruction. Yeah, I like that. Stir, I mean, it fits. It starts with an S, and it's definitely something that you'd see in a recipe. You know, that the next step is to stir the stew or whatever. I like it. Very nice. So maybe, I don't know why, I'm kind of tempted to go over here. Even though we have no letters, we really should build off of what we have, but this little midsection is feeling kind of slow. Unless anyone has great inspiration for modified, I kind of want to look at 33 across and just see what the... Oh, Sergey writes root. I didn't see that. Yeah, path is root. That looks good. Okay. I'm reinvigorated in this section. Sergey lifted me up. And now mope looks like it's going to be pout, right? If you mope around, you're pouting. Okay, things are looking bright. Yeah, Cole knew pout. Reporter's boss. David also knew pout. Yeah, Cole is on fire today. Cole dominating the YouTube chat. Move over, everybody else. Sergey writes editor for a reporter's boss. Yeah, that looks right. Like at a newspaper. Okay, does that help with modified? Huh. Because I expected this to end in an ED. Because the clue is in the past tense. This is looking a little sus to me. I don't know. Maybe we should check this. Normally I like to end on the bottom right, in the bottom right corner of the puzzle, but we have so much more information over there that maybe we'll go a little wild and solve in our own way. Fiesta item. What's that going to be? Hole. Open to view. Oy. Raves. Okay. Okay. Any inspiration happening here? Certain star. Hola, Beatrice. Welcome. We're solving a crossword puzzle together. The clues are up here. If you ever think you know something, shout it out. Yeah, David writes, a modified creature is a cryptid. Yeah, I've been seeing cryptid fits here too. It's a word I love, by the way. A cryptid is like a mythical beast, like the Loch Ness Monster is a cryptid, or Bigfoot is a cryptid. My struggle with it is it doesn't fit the clue. I get what you're saying, a modified creature is kind of a cryptid, but the clue is not a modified creature. The clue is just modified. So, while I would love it if the answer were cryptid, I just don't think it's right. I just don't think it's right. I mean, I will apologies if I'm missing it, but a snaky shape, consumed. Man, this last section is actually And I say last, but the bottom right section is not so straightforward. Seasons. Not so straightforward at all. And this 51 across is troubling me. Infant's toy. We didn't see this clue before. Not that it's that helpful. Where should we go? Okay. David writes a snaky shape is an S. That looks very plausible. Like S, the letter, is shaped like a snake. You can see them here, slithering in the grid. And hopefully these letters are gonna open up this section for us. Consumed, starting with an E. Begin, starting with an S. Sergey writes rattle. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. That was tough to get off of just the R. Well done, yeah. An infant's toy is a rattle. Sergey, yeah, also supplying start for begin. That's got to be right. Okay. Feeling a little more confident now. Whole. Open to view. Raves. This is probably going to end in an S. Yeah, David knew start as well. What's going on here? There might be an error in the grid somewhere. I am beginning to have this tingly feeling that we have an error in the grid somewhere. And errors are always the spidey senses, exactly. And crosswords are hard on their own, but when you put in the wrong thing, you just sort of start to glaze over it and assume that the letters in the grid are correct. But I think that's going to lead us astray this time. Who wants to root out the mole among us? The imposter. And maybe the more answers we get, the more it'll become clear who's lying. Whole. Open to view. Raves. Total. Yeah, Alexander, welcome. Welcome back. Yeah, whole is total. Looks good. And David says consumed is eaten. Very nice. Okay. And just like that, I'm feeling like we might survive this last section. I keep saying last. I don't know why I keep associating this section with the last one. It's not the last one. We have a lot more to go. So maybe this is rants and raves? Maybe. And what's this? Certain star. And seasons. Okay, so it's looking like this is a specific, like seasoning in a specific way, with a specific seasoning in mind. Nova is the certain star. Yeah, like a supernova. And then open to view. And we have a fiesta item. And we got seasons. Only 2 squares left in this section. And has anyone spotted the error yet? There is a lie somewhere in this puzzle. David writes salts for seasons. Yeah, like you season your food with salt. Exactly. Checking the crosses. Open to view was overt. Not the easiest clue, but overt means, you know, for all the world to see. Out in the open. And what's this cross? How's this looking to people? Who's been to a fiesta and seen a riñata there? Yeah, David spotted it. Nice. Stir is wrong, it turns out. So I thought stir was right. A recipe instruction definitely sounds like stir, but the crosses have spoken, and the crosses get the final word. It's not a riñata. Yeah, it's a piñata. Nice. Kudos, David, for catching the error, getting us back on the straight and narrow here. And now the recipe instruction looks like it's going to be a step. So you have a step of a recipe. Recipes are broken down into steps. Okay. We almost got into trouble there, but we course corrected. And now this is no longer cryptid. It's not Bigfoot we're putting in the grid. Something totally different. Yeah, Alexander coming in with step. Good job, everybody. And I've been dying to see 33 across this entire time. I don't know why, but I just want to. So 33 across is a purple fruit. Alexander writes adapted. Great. So modified is adapted, which that fits the clue, and we're on the right course once again. Very good. Purple fruit at 33 across. Comic blank O'Donnell. We haven't had a lot of names in today's grid. I think yesterday was full of names. Cookie cookers. Okay. And what's this? An army doctor. Sergey writes plum. That is indeed a purple fruit. I like it. Yeah, David knew that as well. Teens dance. Alexander. Everyone coming in with plum. Cherish. Utilized. Skirt length. We had a skirt length in yesterday's puzzle too. John, nice work with medic. John writes medic for army doctor. That looks good. Yeah, and yesterday there was a bit of a debate because there's actually different skirt lengths. There are mini skirts, there are midi skirts, which I think was actually yesterday's answer, like a mid-length. And then I think there are maxi skirts as well. So even though we have the M and the I in place, that helps us not at all. This could be any of the three still. They all fit. So we're definitely going to need crosses to sort that one out. Yeah, Alexander guesses mini. Maybe, but it really, yesterday was midi. Get free. Andre writes love or like for cherish, perhaps. Yeah, good. But wow, once again, I mean, this is just like 36 down. This could be love, and it could be like. Oops. They both fit the clue very well. They both fit the letters. We just need crosses for this. We simply don't have enough information. Sergey writes get free is to escape. I like that. I like that. And what's this? Teens dance. And have we looked at this? Yeah, utilized. And the crosses. There's a comic O'Donnell and cookie cookers. Cookie cookers. I want it to be bakers, but that doesn't fit. Yeah, used for utilized. That makes sense. Pretty much straight synonyms there. John writing prom for a teen's dance. Oops. Good. Okay, now, I mean, the downs are just not going to help us, so we really need the crosses here. Comic O'Donnell and cookie cookers. Okay, so it's not bakers. So what is it? Who knows O'Donnell? Who knows O'Donnell? Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell. Here to save the day. Although 36 down could still be mini or midi, like yesterday. And Alexander writes Oreos for cookie cookers. Yeah, plausibly because Oreos are super common in crossword puzzles because they're basically all vowels and it fits and they're cookies. But are they cookie cookers? Are Oreos cookie cookers? I'm not sure I can quite make it work with the clue. Yeah, Andre writes ovens, which I think fits the clue a little better. And ovens has the other benefit of working with the crosses. So cherish and love, it was love after all, and it was miniskirt, which was someone's first guess. But I swear, yesterday Mini was wrong. Yeah, ovens are cookie cookers. Sweet. Yeah, David writes, Oreos. David Oreos, yeah. I could go for some cookies as well. All right, now we have pretty much one section left, maybe 1.5, depending on how you count. And in brand new fashion, we're solving the bottom left last today. We just couldn't help ourselves from veering over here. Room design, starting with a D. Yeah, Andre thought it was Oreos at first as well. Yeah, it's a natural thing to think. Aberdeen native. The thing about solving crosswords live on the internet is that all of your ignorance gets exposed. And I don't know where Aberdeen is. So that is my confession to you this morning. Room design, Alexander writes decor. That looks good. Let's see what the cross is by us. Budget item. Bread topping. What's this one? Gathered. Danny, welcome. Danny also new decor. A new commenter. Welcome, welcome. Nice work. Still poetically. So poetically always means it's going to be some strange contraction. Spec. 3 letters. John writes collected for gathered. That looks good. Nice spot. Yeah, that looks good. And hopefully the D and the E will help us here. Yeah, David coming in with collected as well. Spec. 3 letters starting with a D. And still poetically. That's going to be a tough one. So we might need the crosses there. Budget item. And bread topping. Yeah, Sergey guesses dot for spec. That's what I was thinking too. Like if you just have a speck of something, you just have a dot of it. I think that's possible. A little speck on your shirt is a dot. Yeah, David agrees. It's looking better by the second. Bread topping. Yeah, this is one of there's this crossword. Okay, so oleo with an I is definitely a valid word, and oleo with an E is definitely a valid word, but they mean different things. And I learned both of these words from crossword puzzles, so I actually don't know which one. I can never keep them straight. One of them is a spread, like margarine, and one of them, and so that's going to be the answer. But the other one means just like a kind of like a hodgepodge, a collection of things. So if anyone knows which one is right for bread topping, King Key writes oleo with an E, so I'm going to trust you, King Key, and put the E in. Thank you. And then Alexander writes rest or rent for budget item. Yeah, so let's see. What can we make sense of with the clue? Budget item. I don't really get... I'm not sure I get either of them, actually. Rent. Rent feels better with the crosses to me. I think this might be a poetic way of saying even. Like even so, still. That being the case, even so, still. So that's my guess, but I'm not sure I understand budget item being rent. If anyone wants to venture to explain that to me, I would appreciate it. But let's keep it in for now. If we don't get confetti at the end, we know where to look. 56 across. Oh yeah, David's saying just something that you budget for. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I see. So if you have your personal budget about all your spending and you're tracking it, rent is going to be a big item in the budget. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you. All right, now we really got one section left. 56 across is fragment. And 56 down is Aberdeen native. Someone's got to be better at geography than I am. Smelling organ. Evils. And flower bed. Scott. Sergey writes Scott. So Aberdeen must be in Scotland. Apologies for my terrible ignorance. Try out with a T. Norway's capital. I know this one. Danny writes nose for an Alexander. Right at the same time, right nose for smelling organ. That looks good. Nice work. Yep, Norway's capital is Oslo. I think that was in yesterday's puzzle. And what do we have? Evils. Try out. Oh, what was this one? Fragment. And 59, flower bed. All right, we're really closing in here. We're really closing in. We had some great teamwork today. Who's got the last ones? Yeah, Esme coming in with snippet. I love it. It's a fun word. And Bot ALX writes test. So does Alexander. Let's see. Yeah, test. So that would be here. Okay. So we're thinking test for 69 across to try out. That makes sense. But let's just, in our heads, check the crosses. Evils are ills. That makes sense. Like the ills of the world are the evils. And does a T make sense for flower bed? Yep, like a plot of land, a plot where you plant your flowers. So I'm going to do a dramatic pause, hover over the T on my keyboard. Is it correct? We had some missteps here today. We had a total error in the grid with stir versus step. And I think we were a little unsure about this N, although maybe David explained it and I'm satisfied. So I'm going to put a T in and see if we get confetti or an error message. Yes, nice, confetti. Wow. All right, pat yourselves on the back. That was a good one. Really good one. These are always, Jesui Sylvie coming in just at the end with test with the last answer. Nice work. Nice work, everybody. These are always so much more fun to solve together. I solve a lot of crosswords on my own, and it's better with a group, let me tell you. And the good news is that we do this every day. This is the Daily Crossword Live, so please join me again. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, most likely, but do check. And while you're at it, check out Arkadium. They have a million different crossword puzzles of all different difficulties. If you like this, you will definitely like those. And it doesn't stop at just crosswords. They have tons of games. You will never get bored if you go to Arkadium. Thank you for your help today, and enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Bye.